Warning! We're back!
Like, run for the hills!
Hello everybody and welcome back to Once Upon a Time, Season 6, Episode 1, Savior. I'm your host Dom, with me, Nikki.
Hi.
Cleo.
Hi.
Jake.
Hello.
And Rachel.
Hello.
I just want to point out something. Your volume, Dom, is got a little bit low. Just a tad bit.
Mine's low?
For a hot sec.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
Better
I think
now.
it's just through our end, I guess.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
how it is the stream. I don't know. I just want to
Hopefully
point
it
that out
holds
just
up.
in case.
Hopefully
Yep.
it holds up. Anyway, we are back. If you guys were not joining us all summer long, we did the Once Upon a Time Rewind, in which we redid Season 1, because we never got a chance. We started these podcasts when Season 3 was on the air, right when it first started. So we missed the first two seasons. We went back, we rewatched Season 1. You know, a lot of you guys that are here in chat right now were there, joined us for that. And
I was there.
And all of these monstrosities were there as well.
We found him.
Excuse me?
Oh yeah, you found me.
Yeah, that's where we found Jake. We had to rewind the podcast to find him.
Oh.
So
And
yeah.
here I am.
yeah, so if you guys are not familiar, this is Jake.
Hey y'all.
He used to be
Under
one of
your
you
armpit.
in chat, and now he's one of us.
One
One
of
of
us.
us.
Yeah, we made the. I
Oh,
like.
gosh.
Yeah, I did the whole ceremonial. Take your blood thing. I'm locked in now.
It's true. But unfortunately, and this is nothing. This is not like, hey, we got Jacob and see ya.
I'm not replacing anybody. Keep that in mind.
Jacob's roboting. But I would like to start before we get into the episode. Cleo, this is probably going to be one of the last few times we see you.
Yes.
So, Cleo's going to be on call if somebody, misses whatever.
Dies.
If she, something like that.
When they call out dead.
She'll show up. But, Cleo...
She called out
And
dead.
it's not just... I don't want to speak for Cleo, but I don't think it's just the show. Cleo has picked up a lot of projects that she's been doing as well. So there's a lot of work involved for Cleo. So
Yes, it is partially that, partially this show we do late. Also, partially this show is it's going the way of Supernatural for me. And I know those are probably bold words for so early in the season, but this whole episode I was just like, I could just never watch the show again and I'd be okay.
wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. I need to see I'll skip to everything with Jafar.
Well, Jafar's predominantly now. He's here.
Well, he's not here.
We don't know where he is.
He
Right
may never ever.
Oh,
ever
he's here.
In the present.
Oh,
time.
he's here.
Well, I do want to start by saying, okay, so we had this early scene with Aladdin at the very, very beginning, right? And we see Aladdin having the trouble with the handshaking, it's the same
Parkinson's
thing
disease.
that we later, huh?
Parkinson's disease.
It looks
Yes.
like Parkinson's,
Yes.
but I think it has a magical...
That's not what it is.
It's magical
No.
Parkinson's.
Yes.
Magical
that's exactly.
Yeah, no, but come
It's
on,
permanent
guys.
jacket.
Parkinson's is a really shaky subject. We shouldn't joke about it. But oops. We're really off to a shaky start. But anyway,
We're back, guys.
we are back. We are back.
Did you guys miss us? Really? Did you?
No, but-
I don't think you guys did.
So all of this takes place. If you're paying attention to Wonderland, it takes place before Wonderland, but after Amara. It's somewhere in the middle there.
Didn't Amara
Yes.
teach Jafar?
Amara has turned into the staff. She's the staff. That's what he's holding.
She's the one, and she's the one who taught him magic. So
Right.
we know this is after.
That's right, because he's already got this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's somewhere between that. So this is not taking
Okay.
place after Wonderland. This is not, so we're somewhere in the middle, and it's going to be really foggy, and it's going to be really confusing, and I'm already kind of upset that there's no explanation for Jafar yet, but I'm holding on faith.
Yeah, we got one scene with him.
Yeah, I'm holding on
barely
faith
a
that they will clear up and give us a reason for why there's an appearance change as a story reason. I know the actual casting reason. That's not what I'm looking for. But
Yep.
I have faith. They did it with Robin Hood, even though Robin Hood was in one episode as a different look, and then when they recast him the next season, they went back like 2 seasons later and explained it. So I'm still holding out faith that this is going to happen at some point. But what we're hearing here with Jafar is he's telling us the whole story about the Savior, right? And we see the Oracle with Aladdin, right? The same Oracle.
Well, I didn't know she was the Oracle at the time.
Right. But we later see her with Emma, and she has a red bird with her,
Being creepy.
which
Iago.
could possibly be Iago.
Okay, when I saw the bird in the cage in Aladdin's little hut, I thought it was Iago. It looked big enough to be a parrot. But when we fast forward to when Emma's following it, it looks like a smaller bird. I think
It looks more like
a cardinal, I think.
Yes, it looks
Dom
more like
mentioned that.
a temperate bird as opposed to like a tropical bird.
Exactly.
Right. So, I forget. I looked it up, and I forget the bird is not red when they're filming it. Whenever you see the bird in flight somewhere, that's a completely CGI bird. The bird that's sitting, the one that's in the cage, the one that's sitting on the tree, is an actual bird that they're using. The bird is CGI'd to be red.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not an actual red bird in filming. So
That's weird. Why would they do that?
Because they want you to know it's Iago.
yeah, very.
Well,
It's easier to train the type of bird that they use than it is to train
Alright.
a different type
I don't know,
of bird.
because I mean, it
Parrots
also
are
does
pretty
look
trainable.
like it looks nothing like a parrot. It looks nothing like what Iago's supposed to be.
Right, but don't forget, it may be easier to train a parrot, but they're filming this in Canada in cold seasons, and
It's true.
tropical
yeah.
birds cannot be, used in very cold weather like that. So
I don't know. I think it's more of a symbolic connection with the Oracle than it would be Iago. To be honest, I don't think they're gonna have an Iago character unless he's
name it Iago, please.
human.
I'm hoping it ends up being Iago. I like the illusion. I like the fact that we're all thinking it's Iago. So for it to not be Iago would be cool too,
But then Iago was Jafar's parrot. And when he went in there, he didn't give no mind to that bird in the cage.
That is a Disney tie-in there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not gonna. We know this. The writers, they take hints and ideas from Disney, but they're gonna twist it so much. That's
Yeah.
why I don't think it's Iago at all.
Well, Alex and Aubrey in chat are saying that they think the Oracle is Jafar in disguise, and I don't think they're talking about the one that we see with Jafar. I think they're talking about the one that they
The
see
one
with
with
Emma.
Emma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Which
makes
is
sense.
Total
It
possibility.
could be.
Yeah.
It could be. You don't know.
Yeah.
It could be. Anything's possible.
But I mean, if we're talking about knowledge about the Savior, the Oracle's gonna know just as much as Jafar, because obviously Jafar knows a lot because of his his interactions with Aladdin. So I don't know.
Magic.
It is. It's all magic.
I would like to. Well, while he was explaining the savior stuff to Aladdin, he mentioned a thing about trees. He said the people cut off the branches, cut off the the trunk, and they only just leave an empty stump. If anyone has read The Giving Tree, that's exactly what happens to the tree.
Okay.
That's exactly what happens in that story.
He was saying that whole speech, and I was like, this is supposed to be a reference, isn't it?
It's like it sounds familiar. It sounds very familiar to put my finger on it.
I also just want to point out, if you guys watched the episode of Once Upon a Time that was like a recap questionnaire kind of thing before this aired, because they did a special, an hour-long special before this episode, Adam and Eddie sat down and answered a bunch of fan questions, and out of all the fan questions that they got, 0 of the fan questions were about Dopey still being a tree. However, they commented on it saying, and no one is curious about Dopey? Well, that's too bad, because we're going to tell you anyway. You're going to get the answer whether you like it or not. So
Thank you.
We're going to find out about Dopey this season. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Fucking tree.
And here's the thing. After they said that, I went back to one of our previous podcasts from, I think it was when we were doing season 1,
Mhm.
like one of the later episodes. I actually mentioned Dopey.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that clip and I tweeted it at Adam. And said- I'm like, and I put, nobody cares about Dopey, huh?
Yeah, right.
We remember.
Remember Dopey. Hashtag remember Dopey.
Follow me on Twitter if you want to see that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's fantastic. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited about that. But I was more. I actually liked almost everything that happened this episode. I think it set up a lot of stuff. It wasn't too much in your face, and we didn't get thrown into the untold stories immediately. Like
No.
that's what I really, really enjoyed. Is they're not jumping the gun on it, or jumping ship, or whatever. I don't know.
Well,
they're not
there
jumping
was
the
a
airship
dirigible.
on it.
Yeah. It's close enough, right? A dirigible,
Yeah.
airship,
It
jumping ship.
reminded me of the airships from Final Fantasy.
No.
No.
From Final
no.
Fantasy 11 and
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I
from
know. They're
online.
very, very similar, but they get that steampunk vibe to them, and I love,
Yeah.
like, steampunk seems so weird in this type of fantasy world. Like, it seems like it's difficult to mesh, but at the same time, it fits very well, and it's like
It does.
you saw even like at the end of last season when we got like to look at the world. The world was basically a mashup, you know, not just like the people that were in there, but you saw the overall landscape of it, and it was just like a mashup of fantasy, sci-fi, you know, and technology
Yeah.
and everything. It's fantastic, and I think it ends up working really well.
Well,
It-
that's what steampunk is. It's a mashup
Yeah.
of Victorian, you know, industrial technology, science kind of thing. So
Right, and then we see like how like regular magic is not working on Hyde. Like he just laughed at it, you know, and not even regular magic, light magic, you know, to be more specific.
I don't know. Is Regina popping out light magic still, or is she?
She's not using
You
dark
know.
magic. We'll put
Well,
it that
no,
way.
but I don't mean it.
we don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't.
We've seen her use light magic in the past, so I'm
Yes.
going to assume that,
That was
without her
once, though.
evil half, that she's using light magic.
Well,
I
here's the
don't
thing.
think she's using either.
I think it's just kind of like.
Yes.
You use
Neutral.
light magic, it's that color.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's like her color. Everyone in this, you know, world who uses magic has their own color.
Yeah, it's like when
I
the Power
think-
Rangers teleport.
Exactly. That's exactly what this is.
Yeah.
And I would, you know, we have Regina. I think it was in season 3 when she was training Emma. She said magic is all about emotions, and depending on what emotion it is you're channeling, that's the kind of magic you're going to be using. Which is why Regina and Zelina always use fire, because you know they're very angry.
Yeah.
But now that Regina has gotten rid of that part of her, we saw
She's
earlier.
still angry. She's just angry in a different way.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that later. But
Hey, guess what? You can get rid of your evil half and you could still be a jackass.
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
It's like she's getting rid of her past. That's what it's kind of like. She's
As-
getting rid of her past. So
Yeah,
As
she
nicely as
mentioned
Cleo
that-
put it, being a jackass is not exclusive to being, you know, an evil person.
yeah, I know. But she
I'm a
mentioned
jackass
that.
all the
That means
time.
I could be a really nice guy.
Yeah, I guess.
You could keyword there. Could.
Well, Regina's still herself. It's just
Yeah.
she mentioned
know,
to
she's
Emma
like-
that she doesn't know if she can do
She's-
this without her anger.
She's not necessarily herself because she's still really. She's mourning. She's kind of in
Yeah.
mourning.
Yeah, she's
so
mourning
she's-
still.
Oh, gee. Who would have thought ripping out half of yourself wouldn't solve all your problems?
Okay, here's the thing.
I'm not bitter, she said bitterly in a bitter tone.
Yeah. Okay, I got something to say to Cleo. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
On paper, this is a good plan. Get rid of the evil part of yourself and kill it.
No, it's not even
That-
good on paper. It sucks on paper.
Yes, it does. Because they did.
It was a
they
good
did kill
idea,
her,
but they just didn't understand. They didn't understand the
they
consequences.
didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't know that the magical
From-
sands of Regina would come back.
From the character's point of view, I agree with Cleo. It was a really stupid decision. But from a storytelling point of view, I think it was fantastic.
Well, here's
Because
the thing.
I'm
it's
excited
for-
to get the evil queen back. And the
For
fact
Regina,
that
this
she's
is a bad
going to
idea.
be pure evil means she's going to be more evil than she ever was before. And that's going to be fantastic.
No.
And here,
There's
the Dom's
always a
gonna be
yin
shocked.
yang.
Yep.
There's always a yin yang
There's going to
concept.
be a hit. There's going to be a hitch in her giddy up, as they say. There's something's going to be able. something's going to happen, and she's not going to be able to do what she wants to do.
What
Thumbs
were you
Like
saying?
she thinks
when I
she
see
does.
this, but I agree with Zelina, I think, the most in this episode.
Yeah.
Because she's like, why would you not come to me? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Why would you not come to Zelina?
Why would you go to Snow?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand that as much as, hey, you just had this big sisterly bonding thing with Zelina and you should be talking to her about it. But the fact that, like, all the evil and everything that's out of her and all the hatred for Snow, like, you have to remember at the core, it's stepmother and stepdaughter, right? And they're having the relationship right now that they should have had so long ago.
And they did start off hating each other. And that's what,
No.
that's how their relationship started. They didn't start off hating each other.
But
Right.
that,
And
that wasn't the evil queen at the
realistically,
time.
Regina didn't really hate Snow. She just hate what she did, but she hated her mom more, but she couldn't do anything to her mom. So what she's going to do, she's going to focus all her anger and energy on this little kid. They can't do anything for themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of
That's
that
totally
also
right.
has to do with the, learning the magic and that itself corrupting her and making, like,
Yes.
she made bad choices at that point because she was
Trained
being
with Rumble.
darkened.
But I 100%
Exactly.
agree with Cleo, and I think, she should have talked to Zelina, and Zelina has every right to be upset.
Oh, yeah.
Zelina she's carrying alright, probably wasn't the best choice, but you can't help who you fall in love with, right? So, like, her and Hades, and that, like, I get
Yeah.
it. It wasn't the best on paper, relationship, but when you're in you can't control that, right? So I don't fault her for that, right? Yes, she made a couple of stupid decisions, whatever, but, that's love blinders, or whatever you call that. And,
But she took the shades off, and she's the one who killed Hades.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's squared away when it comes to that, but now, like, she has that on her. Like, now she's dealing with this baby who she's basically raising on her own at this point.
Yeah,
Oh,
very
that's
true.
Robin's baby.
Right, it's Robin's baby.
I wouldn't be surprised if Regina had more resentment either
Well,
to
she
Zelina or
does.
the
Of
baby
course she
itself.
does. I mean, she's mourning right now, so she's hyper. This sounds really, really emo, but she's hypersensitive to everything.
Yeah.
And any little, she's remembering all the shit that Zelina did, and she has to blame someone because the person to blame isn't there to blame,
Well, that's what
And-
Regina does.
and that's what she has to find someone to blame. Someone, it has to be someone's fault.
Yeah.
She has to turn her anger towards someone.
I mean, Zelina even moved in with Regina. She's living in Regina's house right now.
Well,
Well,
not
not
anymore.
anymore.
More and
Well,
more.
yeah, I mean, but at this point. And then it's just
Yeah.
like, Roland gave her the feather before he went back through the door, and
And
she lost it. I mean, it's got to be around there somewhere, to be honest. Like,
Look,
it's not
look,
like she
look.
threw it out kind of thing.
Zelina,
It's-
honey,
it's a-
sweetie, you put the feather in the drawer.
I thought you put it in your
I
cap
mean-
and call it macaroni.
No, you don't. That's a stupid ass song.
Apparently, it was in the tree because it fell on the bench.
But if you look, Selena has boxes everywhere. I don't even think she has a drawer to put it in.
Yeah, why does she have so many boxes?
I
Where
don't
did all
know.
her stuff?
She moved out of her house, right? She
Out
has
of
the
the
farmhouse.
Yeah,
right?
she had that farmhouse.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so she moved out of the farmhouse and moved in with Regina, which makes sense because Regina's gonna be around, to help her here and there with the baby and their sisterly bonding and all that. It makes sense, but Regina's still like dealing with the aftermath of like taking half of herself out of there. Like she's got a lot on her plate too,
Yeah.
And then the whole thing with Hyde, like this it's not like 6-month gap between this is picking up right where we left off at the end of
The
last
second
season.
after.
Yeah.
So like somewhere in the midst of all that, while Regina's still sweating this out, Hook and Emma are getting hot and heavy on the couch. Like,
Oh, see, now I enjoyed this, but here's the thing. You know how when you christen a boat, you smash the champagne bottle against the boat? Well, yeah, well, apparently this is how we're going to christen the house and the new couch. And then
I know,
started,
and then some had to.
then the earth starts shaking. Like the earth doesn't start shaking until after you get your clothes off. They didn't get to that point. I'm like,
I know that.
the earth started shaking. I'm like, are they doing this?
At least they could do is sleep together at least once before
I
one.
know, right?
before
totally
something
have.
happens.
Here's the thing. Didn't like crazy shit just happen? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
what was the transition between the crazy shit and let's have sex now? Like
Well, look,
where
he was down there for a very, very long time. Now he's back. Now he's back in the land of the living. He needs to do some living. So, and they need to christen their own house that they bought that they never got a chance to even spend a night in.
Mm-hmm. I wish they had got the chance to, because come on, we all need that.
Yeah.
We all need a little romance.
Yeah.
As everyone's romances have been like being fucked over in this series so far.
Well, Emma has a lot to
Snow and
do
Charming
with
are doing
that being-
fine.
Yeah, well,
They are.
Now,
we don't
do
see
you
that.
not remember
They're
what
like
we just
PG.
watched them go through in season 1? Like they've had their share.
They're like PG. They're like watching a PG movie.
I know,
They are the PG movie.
But like,
I don't know.
my
I think
favorite,
Emma is just.
my favorite
She's
thing.
the one that causes all her shit
well,
in
of
her
course,
relationships.
she's lying to Hook, and like
Great.
chat
no,
has been
Emma,
flipping
no.
out. Like I can't even pinpoint, but it's just everybody in chat. Aubrey, Danielle, Alex, everybody's flipping out with Emma just making stupid decisions. I think Nikki finally like wore on everybody, and she's getting them all to realize what happened with Emma. Like
Emma Winchester, everyone.
yeah.
Well, of course, she's
turning
making
into
bad
Supernatural for me.
decisions, but that still doesn't negate the fact that she needs to get some.
Do you not learn?
Obviously not.
No, Emma, honey, sweetie. No.
She like actually grabbed his ass and stuff.
Yeah, she totally did. Yeah, but it's been 5. Come on, Emma, it's been 5 years. 5 years. Don't you think you should tell the images in your head?
I mean-
we even got Archie back, right? Archie
Oh.
came back and he sat
Hey,
and he had a chat with, and see, when they bring in characters that have been disappeared for a very long time, like it usually seems really awkward. I think Archie being gone, everything, yes, we've missed him and everything, but I think it was like a very natural, hey, Archie's kind of been busy doing his own thing, whatever, and shit hit the fan now, and Emma really needs some help, and Snow and Charming are like, hey, can you go help her? So we didn't really get an explanation on what Archie's been up to this whole time, but
He's been counseling everybody in that town.
I agree.
That's what I'm
I
thinking.
think Emma did make some bad, but I think right now when the start, she doesn't know what's going on, so she doesn't want to like alarm anyone else before she figures out what's going on. That's just her head, and I understand
If
that.
you ask
and I
somebody, maybe you can
understand it.
figure it out.
Well,
Oh, I
that's the
know,
whole point.
but
Is
that's-
she should have been talking to Archie about it, and they had this conversation. And Archie's like, "Look, I know you've been fighting villain after villain without a break. Your walls have dropped." And she's like, "Isn't that a good thing?" And he's like, "Yeah, but you still need some time to mend them after, And she's like, "Well, can't you give me a pill for that?" And I'm just like, "Really, Emma?"
Oh my god. I wanted to punch her in the face so fucking hard. I was like, you did not. You did not just say that, because that is you to just go, "Oh, just medicate me." There must be something wrong. Just give me medicine.
Then Archie's like, "Look, there's no shortcuts."
I like that.
Oh,
You
that
know?
pissed me off.
And I think that was one of the smartest things that I've ever heard out of Archie's mouth, was when he goes, "There's no shortcuts." Because I can't stand when you go to a doctor for something and their first response is to throw pills down your throat.
Yeah.
It's not even just for medical doctors, and I understand that some of it is needed, right? That's not what I'm saying. Some of it is necessary, but when the first solution is a pill, that's I don't like that.
No.
Speaking of shortcuts,
Right.
speaking of shortcuts,
I can understand where she's coming from, that she wants to figure it out before she tells everyone else. But there is a point in time that Archie was right. That you need to start leading on people.
Well, Archie's the
There's
one
a
that
difference.
pointed out that her walls are down. He brought that to her attention. So my question to you guys is Emma lying to everybody a direct result of what her and Archie talked about?
No, I think she's scared. I think this is
she
the
was
first
like-
time in years that her walls have been down, and she's fucking terrified.
And there's a difference between waiting to figure it out before you tell people and lying, which she is outright lying.
She is.
She
Yes.
at the end of the episode where she and Hook were at the bar and Hook gave her the half drinking glass, not the full one. He said, "Oh yeah, everything's fine. I'm going to Archie about it." You're not. Well, you did for 2 seconds. That didn't go well.
Two shows now where I'm like, oh, there's a lie. That relationship's over.
Nope.
2 shows now I'm watching where lie, relationship's over.
Well,
That's
Adam and
it.
Eddie did say that they're going to
They're
go
gonna be together
through.
forever.
They're going to go through some rough times this season. We know
Well,
that.
of course they are, because they always do.
Yeah.
Is he going to die again? Are we going to do that?
No, probably not.
He's not afraid of death anymore.
But
They
like,
did also, however, say
Jafar
we're
said,
not
the
going
saviors
to the
don't
underworld
get
this
a
year.
happily ever after.
They,
What?
I thought the idea was that we were supposed to see a peek into the underworld
That's
because
what
we're going to
That's what they
see
said last season.
Arthur again.
That's what
Yeah,
they said
but now
last
this
season for the
there's no
finale.
underworld.
But now at the beginning here, they said we're not going into it this year. So to me, the words "this
okay.
year" means the first half of the season.
Gotcha.
So more Cruella and Blind Witch and
So
Peter Pan,
second
possibly.
half of once.
Quite possibly,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a full story that's going to go across the entire season. It's not going to be,
Right.
season, A and B.
Yeah, Untold Stories is going to go for the whole season, which I think is going to be fantastic. And then because we had Hyde at the beginning, when the dirigible's flying over, and he's just like, "Hey, nothing is more dangerous than the people who don't want their stories to be told." And I was just like, this is going to get really interesting really fast.
Who are these people?
Yeah.
We saw some of them, but I didn't really recognize anybody in that bunch.
No.
Going to that, Alex says in chat that maybe in Emma's prediction, like her dream, of the future, she's fighting Aladdin probably, and that makes a lot of sense because of the way he was cloaked in the beginning, and in her little dream, the figure she's fighting is cloaked.
Right.
I have my own theory, and it doesn't involve Aladdin. It involves something else that is a factor in this season. Maybe I'll save it, or should I just say it now?
Say it now.
I'll do it now. Okay.
Whatever.
So we have this serum that Regina stupidly used.
I
it Emma?
think Jake's kind of the same way I'm thinking.
Oh,
Okay,
is it
look,
Emma?
I was gonna say that too.
Yeah. Emma's fighting Emma.
It's not like but like evil Emma, and
Right.
like we're talking like real Dark Swan, not that bullshit that they
Yeah.
pulled last season. Actual evil Emma.
Mhm.
And they said that she saw what's her name, Oracle. She said like what the visions you're seeing are the saviors. It's your end. Now she didn't necessarily, end does not mean dead, but
The
if
end
there
of your
is,
story.
if there is, she might be talking about the Dark Swan story, or at least whatever they're going to call evil half Emma if that does happen. She could be talking about evil Emma and not this Emma.
Well, so I think the cloaked figure was Emma. I agree with you there, Jake. I also think that Emma will die. Like, die. And that's going to make Nikki happy. But
We're just going to go
there's a
back to the
caveat.
underworld and pull her back out.
No, there's a caveat. It does not involve the underworld. It involves wherever Robin went, because we do have confirmation that Sean Maguire will return, right? And if you remember, he's going to be in multiple episodes, so that's
Because
at
he
least
wasn't
two.
satisfied the way he died.
Yeah.
And so they were giving him a better.
Right. So, number one, that means his soul was not destroyed, as Hades said. Which we
Of course,
had.
Hades lies.
We
Good
had
lie.
Henry and Regina, having that conversation. Henry's just like, villains say whatever they can to hurt people. And that doesn't mean that Hades had to be telling the truth about Robin. So with noting that Sean Maguire is going to come back, and Henry said, "I like to think there's a special place for the heroes when their story's over." Just that line right there made me think, okay, well, wherever Robin is, that's where Emma's going to go when she dies. That's like the place that the heroes go, and
Aladdin
Robin,
might be
that
there.
proved Robin was a hero, and if Emma dies as a hero, whatever, she's gonna go to that same place, and and I'm pretty sure that's where Neil is too.
Henry, you have this very powerful thing in your room. It's called the pen, and there's probably paper next to that pen.
But Henry also learned you can't alter the stories. Henry's just there to.
You want him to cheat?
To dictate.
We've been down that path. Nothing good.
I just want to
comes
see him
from
use the damn pen. He doesn't use it.
They
Yeah.
did
Even
mention.
the Oracle said that no matter what path you choose, the end will always be the same.
Yeah.
Right. So that's
You
why I
can
said I
take
think
it.
Emma's gonna
Take-
die. There's no way around it. If the Oracle is correct about that, Emma has to die. We saw it. So
But which
either
Emma?
the
He
Oracle's
didn't,
full
he
of
didn't see her
crap,
die.
or and the future can be changed,
Jafar.
or
Which
there's going to be
Emma?
something
It's
else after
right,
she
so-
dies, because we know that they're not going to kill Emma and continue the show, and we haven't heard any reports that this is the final season. Usually, if a show's in its final season, we hear about it by now.
Yeah.
Especially a show like Once.
Yeah.
I would like to say what she said about, you can take a different path, but it's going to lead you to the same destination.
Yeah.
In season 3, we saw that. In season 3, Hook and Emma did the whole Back to the Future episode, but what I like to call the Back to the Future episode.
It was.
Yeah, she saw how she was going to see how her parents met, but for just by her being there, she messed it up. But still, things happened in a different way, but her parents still met, and everything after that was still the same.
Yeah.
They will find a way. Well, and the whole what Jafar said, saviors never get a happily ever after. Kind of was like, okay.
Emma's gonna be the first.
Yeah, right. Let's hope.
Well, that's what
We're all
it's Emma.
rooting for them.
Yeah. And I saved the best part for last.
Yay.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Crack that nut
Here we
open.
go. All right, Cleo. We'll let Cleo talk first.
Thank God Belle found her brain. That's all I have to say, really. Get to applaud Belle.
Golf
If I
clap.
only had
She
a
gets a
brain.
golf clap from me.
Did you go see the wizard?
Yeah, we can do that. Wait, no, the wizard, the monkey.
Wizard's monkey. Well, not anymore.
Did he die?
I think he's dead.
I think he's dead.
Ah, too bad.
I think Selena ate him.
Delena's a new wizard.
Yeah. So all right. So Cleo.
Hmm.
Through this whole time of you and your hatred for Rumple and Belle and this whole thing, I think somewhere along the way we have come to the determination that it's not actually Rumple that you're displeased with. That it's not necessarily Belle that you're displeased with. It's the whole Rumple Belle together relationship that you're displeased with.
It kind of is, and I liked it up until the last season where we're like, oh, it's been this way all along. We just haven't noticed because they were in love and everything was okay. And I'm like, oh my God, it's literally been awful the whole time and nobody noticed.
I noticed.
No, we all noticed.
I think everybody noticed.
I fucking know. And now I'm like, I feel like an idiot. It's been terrible always, and thank God Belle can see it now. And she's like, no, you've been lying to me. It's been nothing but lies.
Her baby made her see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what did you guys think of
Not
the
a
whole
baby.
reveal of fake Morpheus being
This
being their
show,
son?
the show,
That
doesn't,
was like, oh my God.
the show doesn't get me like that, except for Peter Pan. That was really the only one. But
I mean, I saw that one coming a mile away.
No, you didn't.
Shut
No,
up.
you didn't. Shut up.
You did
Okay.
not. Why is that the proof?
Go back. There's a podcast I called that.
Find that clip.
You did it.
Nobody believes us that you called it.
Yeah, but he did.
You did.
Yeah, but the way I felt about Peter Pan, that was like the same way I felt about this.
Yeah.
Because this grown ass man, when he started talking about he's like, oh, Belle can only wake up from true love's kiss, and he's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm like, wait, did Belle fall in love with?
I know, that's
God
what
of
they
Dreams?
did.
What's been going on?
Yeah, I know.
Did she? Is he there visiting her in her dream and they fall?
As soon as he said that he was gonna wake her up, I was like, "That's their kid." Like, I called it maybe seconds before it came out of his mouth.
Well,
so I
I
can't
did
really
too
say,
after
I didn't see it coming because when him and Rumple were talking the whole time, I had no clue. But
No
it
clue.
was like the moment leading up to that, it's like the pieces all fit together perfect. I was like, aha. But
Well, yeah,
I think
was like,
it was-
no.
and keep in mind, the whole reveal, that's not actually Morpheus. That was just Morpheus
Yeah.
in
No,
their
it's
dream.
not.
There's still a real Morpheus out there that is not this kid.
Yes, that's true.
So
He was only posing as Morpheus.
right. So the whole story with Hyde and telling
Please tell me they're not going to name their kid Morpheus.
Oh, that.
no.
Well, I
That'd be
think-
But Hyde going to this area
Oh,
and
do
doing all
not
that.
name that baby after a dead relative, please. Do not do that.
There's gonna be another baby Neil.
Baby, no, Bellfire probably. That's probably what they'll name it.
No,
Oh God!
listen,
Oh
Belle-
please, no.
no, because
Belle wouldn't do that.
Belle doesn't want anything to do
Belle
with.
Belle would name it after her father.
Probably.
She better not.
Oh yeah.
He's-
yeah.
he's-
Well, he's not dead yet. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so that's all right. I
am
don't see
not
anything wrong with that.
yet.
No,
But
he's a jerk.
okay, but that's just a name.
Well, Belle loves her father,
She does.
and her father clearly loves Belle.
He
Why
tried to
she's
send
got
her
to name
over the
Gaston?
line.
She's gonna name it Gaston.
Regardless
I
of what
would
he
like
did,
that.
he was supposedly the only one that was going to wake Belle up.
Yeah, but
Right.
he didn't want to do it.
We
Right.
didn't want to.
Yeah. And I don't fucking blame him.
I don't either.
No, we don't. No one did.
No, get Rumpelstiltskin the fuck out of Belle's life.
But, all right, so staying on track with Rumpel, right? I think everything that Rumpel has said this episode is 100% true, right? He wants nothing more to wake Belle, right?
Mhm.
And the fact that he said his love for Belle will never be a lie, I 100% believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what
yeah.
I've been saying the whole time. He loves Belle. Like, his intentions and everything, like, they're good intentions. But quoting, I think it was not the Lost World. I think it's Jurassic World. Or was it Jurassic World? One of the
No, it
Jurassic
was
Park movies
the
said
first
some
Jurassic
of
Park.
the best things are done. Some of the worst things are done with the best intentions.
Oh.
Mhm. I think that was. Wait, was that the first one?
It
I
may
don't
have
know.
Yeah, I
been-
don't think it.
It may
It was
have
a
been
good
Jurassic
quote.
World.
That's the saying for a long time.
I thought you were gonna say they were so preoccupied
No.
with whether they could.
No.
They didn't stop to think with whether they should.
No, but I think
Yeah.
like his intentions, his personal intentions, are 100% in Belle's, like, not what Belle wants, but in his interests for Belle. Like, he's doing it what he feels is right for her. That doesn't mean it is right.
His love for her is selfish.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that is very true. And I think that's also because of the relationship that he had before, right? And you got to look at it in terms of everything that happened with Mila and her and Hook, and that whole situation, and then him being a coward and losing Battlefier. And I think, like, right now where he's at, yes, he still wants power, and power is everything to him. But
Yeah.
I think he's at that point where he saw what happened to Bay, and he does not want to repeat that. So he's going to do everything he can to not
Well, he
lose
kind
his
of already
child.
lost his second kid.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
Russ,
his kid
the
already
dude
doesn't
isn't
like
even
him.
born, and he's like, "Well, I fucked it up again."
He's like, Mommy, please
Right.
stay away from
And that's why he didn't follow, and he just kind of sat in, where it wasn't Mount Olympus, but wherever the hell he was, that mountain.
He was gonna give her a 5-second head start.
He just sat there
It was like the
dumbfounded
shrine.
for the whole rest of the episode.
Morpheus.
Oh, yeah.
The Morpheus Shrine or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, that was a test to see if he would fall for his lies again,
And he didn't. Okay.
and he didn't. Good job, Mom. He ruined his last family. I won't let him ruin us. I'm like, yay.
Yeah, but
Belle, find yourself a nice boy.
I really feel like he's going to do everything he can to
Knave.
get her back and
No.
to keep his family together.
Anastasia.
Like, that's what he wants. Belle doesn't want anything to do with that right now. And
No.
that's gonna be a big conflict, going into this season. And I think because of everything that happened, that's part of the reason that Cleo is just like, yeah, that right there. No, but like, I feel like it is, like, they're going in the right direction story-wise for this relationship, right? Like, if it was just more of the same right now, like, we would all be furious and that would be the end of it. But I think they handled it really well so far going into this episode, and we're gonna have to see where it goes. But
It's like she not only like physically woke up, she actually woke up.
Her brain turned on.
Yeah, she actually
Yeah.
like woke up, like she was under this whole entire spell of his kind of thing. She actually woke up
yeah.
and saw.
No,
Yeah.
Adam and Eddie
Really
just
was.
changed to writers. It's fine. We're
And
good.
as
Yeah.
Daniela,
Did we get those interns out of the room? Did we do that?
as,
Great.
Yes,
as
please get
Daniela
out.
says in chat, Rumpel has
Fire
a
the intern.
three-way relationship with Belle and his power. And as awkward and strangely hilarious as it sounds, it's the truth. And it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 100% the truth.
Not anymore. She's done
Well,
for
yeah.
now.
What did you guys think of the whole dream sequence with Belle, like, imagining her being in the castle, and all that?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
And the castle's all nasty
she
and
doesn't
spooky.
get to choose her dream.
right.
Yeah.
They don't get to choose it.
Right.
Well,
So-
that dream
I'm just
only
saying, what did you guys
occurred
think of it?
because Rumpel poured the dust on her. That she was in that fiery room that we saw in season
Correct.
1 with Aurora and Henry. So that was just a special little treat for her to get her out of that fiery hell.
And while Rumpel did that, he also woke up little baby, whatever his name is, that
Yep.
they're going to name him.
Mm-hmm.
Fake Morpheus. No, but
Fake
what did you guys
Morpheus.
think of the whole castle and, like, seeing all that and seeing Rumpel? Like, what was your opinion on all that?
Well, we see that Belle.
It was very sweet. It was because they did the whole nod to the actual movie.
They've done this twice.
Yeah,
This
but
is
it's
almost
just-
an exact copy of what happened in season 1.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
don't do this to me. No, I don't want to
like,
like it
stop
right
the
now.
feels. I don't want to feel this way. Stop it.
And then them
I
playing
felt
the,
nothing.
the title track, Beauty and the Beast.
No,
That was
how
fantastic.
How much did they have to pay to get that?
Nothing.
Nothing. They
it's,
own
it's
it.
ABC. They own it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I actually like that. Like, it's almost like a music box instrumental. Like, I don't know. It's not exactly a music box, but it's similar. I actually really like that version. And
I like whenever because we heard that in season 4, I think it was. And I've always really liked it.
They have. I'll just point out, the live action Beauty and the Beast is coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
So to have that put in there to keep everyone's little mind fresh and getting ready for it, because I am ready for it because I want it.
And the live action movie will be a musical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's good.
Good.
I mean, I didn't enjoy the Cinderella live action at all.
I liked it.
I
it
liked
was
it.
I still haven't watched it.
hit or miss
So,
for me.
I was just like, eh.
I loved it.
I loved it. I actually like it.
The visuals were nice, yes.
You
But I
wanna
mean,
know
the
what
story didn't seem new or fresh to me.
What
anyways.
happens?
It's a
You wanna know what
Cinderella
happened?
story.
It was going through, and I was just imagining the Rodgers and Hammerstein stuff. So I was singing the songs in my head, and I was like, "Those should go there. Those belong there."
Well, I was disappointed that there was no songs from.
Yeah, a little bit.
I wanted to, I was upset because I thought they were gonna do the whole thing where you see her cleaning the floor and you see her reflection in the bubbles. That's one of my favorite pieces of
that was
animation.
really cool.
Yeah.
That's the one. I think it's my favorite piece of animation in Disney's entire library. I was hoping they would do that, but they didn't.
Yeah. I don't know, and I'm excited. Like, it seems like we're gonna get more Beauty and the Beast kind of like motif and stuff going on. We're gonna have Aladdin through. I think at least very minimum is gonna be the first 5 episodes. We're gonna get more of that story to unfold. I know it at least goes to 5. It could go more.
We didn't see Jasmine.
Yeah, we didn't see Jasmine yet.
I've seen pictures of her.
yes.
She
She
looks fantastic.
She does. I'm excited.
Well, since
I've
they canceled Gallivant and everything.
Mhm.
I've also heard about
Still
a
bitter.
step-family coming into play.
Yes,
Mhm.
episode
Mhm.
3.
Mhm.
I think it's called The Other Shoe. Is when Cinderella comes back, and they said that we're going to deal with her stepfamily. So I'm wondering if her stepfamily is part of the Land of Untold Stories, if that's where they've been hiding this whole time, and why they didn't come
I
over
can
with
see
the
All the
kids.
Anastasia
Wonderland
going
characters are there.
If the Wonderland Anastasia is the same, I could see her going to the Land of Untold Stories to hide out after what the fuck happened in Wonderland.
Right. That's
Yeah.
if, because it's still a big if on whether or not that is Cinderella's stepsister. It
Totally
makes
is.
sense.
If it is,
They
holy
set up
shit.
They set up all the the pieces. It's basically a layup, and all they need to do is the alley oop at this point. And sports ball references. And but there's also a big. It may not be just because her name is Anastasia, and just because they mention the fact that she has a stepsister or stepsisters, doesn't necessarily mean that she's Anastasia Tremaine. I know if you go on the Once Upon a Time wiki, everybody jumped all over that, but a lot of that is them making assumptions because it was never ever stated.
Well, yeah, it was never stated, but from what the Jabberwocky said and what they
Right.
all the dots and stuff, it's hard not to connect them. It's hard when they leave bread trails as big as a boulder. It's hard. It's hard not to trip over them.
Exactly.
Giant ass pile of bread.
It's also so left open ended that they don't have to, because she's not the only Anastasia in the entire world that has stepsisters, right? So they could
but
just go that route and be like, that wasn't her. You thought it was, but it wasn't. They could go that route. I'm hoping it is her.
I am too.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see her come back. I'd
I'm-
love to see that character come
She's
I
a
back.
would love
great
to.
actress,
And that
too.
is the only
It's
reason.
amazing.
When we were watching Wonderland, you go back and watch our podcast, I was so against her being the stepsister. I fought it tooth and nail. And now,
Then the
just because
Jabberwocky.
it's over, I miss that actress and I want to see her again. That is my only reason for
I
watching
missed
her.
that whole entire cast. I missed the cast.
Nah.
I just missed. That show had so much potential, and they put it in a crappy slot at a crappy time, and it did crappy.
I
See,
think had
and-
it done better, it probably would have gone, a couple more seasons.
If they would have put it in the winter break,
Yeah,
like they did with,
like not show it while the original show is going.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and like the whole we had the Will Scarlet and then he disappeared and now we don't know where he is, and the actor Michael Soja had said, he left the show because he felt like they weren't utilizing the character. He's not holding any grudges. He'll come back if they have room for it.
I think they had intention to use it, but then
Right.
Like the story, they're like, okay, we could do this. It evolved into something different.
Right.
Yeah, they weren't
But I
supposed
feel
to
like
do-
this whole Untold Stories thing would have been perfect to bring him back in.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
If they do,
Yeah, they already set up the pieces in season 4 with him, but they didn't utilize him as much, and I'm guessing it's because Frozen wasn't originally going to be part of that season. The whole Queens of Darkness thing was supposed to go for an entire season.
yeah.
But then they said, yeah, can you do Frozen? They're like, okay. And they chopped up something really quickly, which I actually do really like. And season 4 is my favorite, and I do like the Frozen arc. I think they did it very well. But yeah, that wasn't originally supposed to be there. So had it not been in there, we might have gotten more of the Knave. But they kind of just,
I mean, the Untold
they had
Stories.
to drop something.
Untold Stories just leaves like a big gap for things like that. For like, it'd be perfect to fit him in there. It'd be perfect to throw Anastasia in there. They're already throwing Jafar in there. We're gonna get Aladdin. We're getting all these characters. It's just weird coincidence that hey, Cinderella's here, and now they're talking about the Lady Tremaine and the other daughters and stuff like that. Like, if that's the case, it makes sense that they've been hiding in the land of untold stories. That's why they didn't come over with the curse. And if that's the case, it puts it makes it less chance that it's going to be the same actress from Wonderland, because then they're going to have to explain how she got from Wonderland to the land of untold stories, and
there was another curse that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's seeming less and less likely.
She still had magic.
But,
She still had magic, so she could have made a portal to the land of untold stories. So
The rabbit was digging too much. He made a hole and it was just too big, and they all fell in.
right. But I mean,
she
the
had
actresses,
magic.
the actors and actresses that are going to be playing like those characters and everything have not even been announced. So we don't know anything about that right now.
We
And it
won't
just
know till,
said
like,
it
episode
just
3.
said the Tremaine family. It didn't say anything about whether they could add a stepbrother or something. Once is known to add things like that. They just add dwarves randomly. So
conveniently leave out Anastasia. Say, oh, she went off.
They
she
could do that
went
too.
off to do her thing.
Yeah, whatever.
And I'd be like,
well, that would probably
If
be
that does
something like if
happen,
the actress was not available, kind of thing, and you can't really fault her for that.
That's unfortunate, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the
no,
same reason why we have a different Jafar.
Mm-hmm.
And like the whole time I was saying,
I
I would have loved.
Oh.
I would have loved Merlin to be played by Terry O'Quinn, who played John Locke in Lost, because that's their tradition of bringing the thing. And I was like, what has he been doing all this time? And then he just showed up on. I watch a show called Secrets and Lies. It originally had Ryan Felipe from Cruel Intentions. He was in season 1, and then they switched it up, and it's a different cast. Now it's a whole different story for season 2. Terry O'Quinn's in that show. So I was like, he wasn't doing a whole lot if they got him in on a show like that, so they could have probably got him in for Once Upon a Time. I think they could probably still utilize him as a character down the road, but who knows? But
I liked who they had for Merlin.
yeah, no, I
Yeah,
did
me
too.
too.
Yeah.
Going back.
I did
And
too.
he's gone.
My original vision when you said Merlin, and I'm thinking the cartoon Merlin, the first person that I thought of
bumbling fun
besides
Merlin.
Christopher Lloyd, who
That
was
was
just
my pick.
completely out there,
That's true.
would have been Terry O'Quinn. But
I just think it's funny. I think it would be good if they did bring back the Knave, and if he sees Belle being pregnant, he'd be like,
Is that mine?
is that?
I still want it to be like that.
I would so.
And then
I'd be
Anastasia would kick Will's ass.
So, oh God,
That'd
she would.
be entertaining.
That would be entertaining. Make it happen.
so, really quick before we wrap this up, Danielle had a couple questions for us that we did not cover going in. She wants to know what our
Great.
thoughts were on the scene between Regina and Snow on the bench. I mean, we talked about it briefly, but not that specific scene.
They've come a
Daniela
long
says,
way.
I'm so proud of Regina for having the lady balls and genuineness at heart to start to admit how sorry she is of her past sins. So what were you guys'
And
thoughts on
then
that?
down comes the feather.
Yeah.
So
well, I
Regina,
mean,
you just stayed 2 seconds. 2 seconds that you just stayed on that bench.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason why she can't admit it is because she's not having anything hold her back anymore. Her
Yeah.
that self that was holding her back is gone now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
And I think, well,
And also, I think the loss of Robin kind of is like making her more vulnerable than anything, and realizing what is most important.
well, she was
right
vulnerable
now.
before, and then she
Well, yeah, but
kicked out
this
her
is
evil
just
self,
even-
and now she's
even
just
more so.
wide open.
Well,
But I
I
think-
think she doesn't know what to do with herself. She doesn't know who she is without that evil side.
but I think the reason it was holding her back was because now that it's gone, she feels like, not that she feels like she didn't do it, but I mean, they are referring to her as a different person, and that's still part of Regina's past. She can't rip that away.
Yeah.
And you even see like Snow catch herself when she goes, when the evil queen, like they're specifically going out of their way to refer to them as separate people.
And this is what I don't like. From a character standpoint, this is a bad idea for Regina, because you can't just get rid of a big part of you like that. And this is what I don't like, because since Regina has come such a long way, she is a good guy now. The thing is, getting rid of that part of you, that is taking the easy way out, and that's what villains.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
they
of
take
course
the
it
easy
is.
way, and Zelina is mad. She said, "You took away the part that was most like me." Here's the
It's
thing,
a shortcut.
I love Zelina in this moment. Well, I've always loved Zelina, but this is why I love Zelina, especially in this episode, because Zelina didn't do that shit. She took her pain and she dealt with that.
Yeah, she womaned up.
Mm-hmm. And it's just
Your
so
vagina
funny
up.
hearing all of you guys on Zelina's side now, when like
I know.
a season and a half ago.
No, I
feel
still
like
don't like that
this
bitch.
person.
I've always loved
I feel
Zelina.
like
I think they should lock her up in a cell, just like Hyde, and
They
you know,
did
take
one
care.
time.
But
No, right now.
I just want to point out, Cleo, that's exactly what good writing is. When you can absolutely hate a character and they do something to make you love that character. That is fantastic writing.
I
That
know.
is a great arc,
But
So what does that mean for Emma?
That's good writing in like the same breath that you ripped a part of yourself. I don't know. I just think there's some good writing and some bad writing in the show.
Oh, of
and
course.
And
Of course.
Zelina,
there is.
I am
that
upset with you
stuff
though.
just drove me crazy.
We didn't talk about the very, very end of this episode.
Right.
I don't even remember
The
what that
green
was.
apple martinis.
Yeah, exactly. I like how the
I-
apples are green.
Of course they are.
I mentioned that too. I was like, green apple martini. That's perfect.
I don't like apple martinis because they
Hate
taste like that.
I hate
Foam.
martinis.
And I
Well,
like.
it
I
depends
just
on the
want to. I want to talk about Lana's acting prowess. So when Zelina goes into the house and you hear the evil queen's voice, you can tell just by the tone in her voice that that is not Regina.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Selena was like,
Regina?
what?
Well,
she like
you know
double
what?
taked at nothing, but she had to like
Yeah.
go around the corner and be like,
Zelina
oh.
wanted a family. She wanted a sister. Now she has twins.
Yeah.
Now she
They
has twins.
don't know about each other.
And like I could tell on Zelina's face. She walked in and she was like, evil queen was like, now you have the sister you always wanted. And Zelina's like, I don't want this. I don't want it. I don't want it.
I didn't sign up for this one.
Zelina looks
This is
scared.
not good.
Like, I don't want this one.
She looks petrified. I'm not
Can
gonna
we
lie,
take it
but at the
back?
same time, she's.
And how did you get in
she's
my
gonna
house?
have-
Yeah,
she's
How
gonna
did you
do
get in
that.
my house?
I think
And where did you get the
Zelina-
apple martini from?
I think Zelina realizes that, being pure evil, that Regina, that evil queen, is not going to give a shit about Zelina's baby.
No.
That whole family aspect is out the window. It's just power-hungry revenge.
Well, the evil queen the evil queen side of Regina, I don't know how to refer to her, evil queen, she never loved Robin. She has nothing
No.
to do with Robin.
Nope.
So she was not going to care about that baby.
Sally and Jack, what? Am I in the Twilight Zone? We are on Zelina's side?
I've always been on
I'm
Zelina's
not.
side, Sally. I
I'm
love
not. I
I'm
do
not
not
on
like
anyone.
See,
I'm
like
not
I feel like the last season and a
I
half,
am
like
on
it was an
nobody's
uphill battle
side.
for me, being like,
There's
guys,
on my
she's gonna, it's gonna be okay. Like Zelina's all right. Like you're gonna see, and you're just all no, and now you're sitting here going, Zelina's cool, except for Nikki who just hates everybody, so it's okay.
I don't dislike her. I don't like her either. She's
Yeah.
just
I loved her the
there.
moment she was on screen.
Alex says,
I'm
I'm
not-
gonna
I'm not-
miss my Cleo.
I'm not saying that I'm not excited to see her when I see her on the show now. I mean, her character has grown a lot, and the writers have taken the right steps with her. I still don't like her as a person. She's terrible. She does not deserve her child. I'm sorry.
Right. But yeah, I don't know what Zelina's going to do. I don't think Zelina's going to side with the Evil Queen if she does.
But she's not going to say no.
But she's not going to say no. But I think she's going to do it just to know be one step ahead of her, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just to know what's going on, because Zelina doesn't like not knowing what the hell's going on.
No,
she doesn't like being kept in the dark. She never has.
I also want to bring up Hyde because we didn't really talk about him much. How he was leading Emma along, and I kind of I don't remember him talking in the manner he does in this episode as he did in the last episode of last season.
It felt similar to me.
Annoys me.
It's the same actor, so yes, it's gonna sound similar. It's just like the mannerisms, like the tone and the way he was phrasing his words and the space.
My favorite line, and I meant to say this before when we were talking about Hyde, and then we switched subjects. My favorite line this entire episode was when Zelina goes, "I thought it was going to take weeks and weeks of battles and twists and turns, but here you go, doing it in one day." And I was just like, that sounds like the plot of every season so far of Once Upon a Time. So
he's not going to be in there long.
I just love that it's just like, that's the writing from Adam and Eddie going, guys, we know that you're sick of this format, and this season we're going to blow the lid off of it. You know, that's good. That's the way I take that line. So
yeah. But I don't know, his voice, the way he talks and stuff, I'm like, can you just shh? You're cute and everything, but shh.
Yeah, I don't remember him talking like that.
Right? The eye thing where he's got that red piece, you know, like on the side of his eye.
He has
no, not the cut, but that thing in his actual eyeball.
It's
a broken blood vessel.
Yeah,
it's a broken blood vessel.
And
my mom gets them all the time.
It bothers me so much. Like, my eyes water just watching it. Like, it hurts me to look at his eye. So it's honestly fantastic. I think they did a great job, the art department, with that. I'm assuming it's a contact lens.
No,
I'm pretty sure.
Honestly, it might be he might have burst a blood vessel in his eye.
He might have.
I think it's costume.
He was in what was that show with the vampire and the werewolf?
Being Human.
Being Human. He was in the American version of Being Human, and he never had any problems like that. So
no, well, I think it's all costume.
I feel like it's costume.
I mean, you can get a burst blood vessel in your eye from anything.
That's true.
I wake up with them.
It goes away.
That's true. It just feels like, well, because it was there in the finale. So for it to carry over for that long.
Oh, okay.
You know, it definitely feels costume, but it's cringeworthy for me, right? And I think that's fantastic on the costume department if that's like a choice that they made, you know, like that. So.
Yeah, they need to stop bringing in sexy villains because it's really hard to hate them when they're so cute.
Well, I hate him.
I don't hate him. I just think he's very smart and he's very manipulative.
That's why I hate him.
I just love that he's locked up in the hospital, like in the nut ward, you know, under the hospital, like instead of putting him in the standard jail that everybody breaks out of.
So now does everybody know about the crazy ward? Like,
I don't think so.
Because Emma was going in and out of there all fucking day long.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
they're
like
the ones
who
put him in there.
Yeah. Like
that's what I mean. Does everybody know about it now?
Yeah.
No, I don't think everyone knows about it because she's like, I'll leave you here to rot because no one will come. We'll just leave you here.
Well, no one likes Hyde anyway, so even if people knew where he was, they'd be like, whatever.
Don't go there.
I don't know. I kind of like him, but at the same time, it's like he's going to cause a lot of fucking trouble.
Oh, of course. I mean, they wouldn't have thrown him in and introduced him the way they did.
You know, Dom is all fan about villains having the redemption. Do you think Hyde could have a redemption since he's half of some other part?
But he's half. That's the thing. He's the other half of.
He's a created being that never existed to begin with. Like he wasn't born.
He's a little different. He's like an anomaly. But I think that they can, and I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to find out with Regina is one half cannot exist without the other half, and they're going to have to figure out a way to put it back in. So they're going to technically redeem him, but that's only because they're going to shove him back in somebody else's body, and they're
I
going
hope-
to suppress the whole magical effect of it being two separate people.
I hope they go as far as the longer they're separated, the less life force they have to live on, and that if one gets hurt, the other one gets hurt as well. I hope they go as far as that, and then they realize, shit, we have to go back together.
When Hyde got shocked, we didn't see any effect. I don't even know the Jekyll? Yeah, I guess Jekyll. That makes sense. I
Dr.
don't.
Jekyll.
Yeah. I know Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but for some reason I was like, what's this guy's name in the show? Like, I'm like, the warden? No, we know that Hyde's the warden, but,
Yeah.
I don't know. We didn't see the Jekyll affected when Hyde got shocked. So
No, I
don't
know.
think
I'm
it's,
just saying the
anything like
longer that they're away from each other, they're separated, that all these symptoms start to kind of like, they start to endure these things because they're separated.
Yeah.
Because they are part of one soul. It's kind of like how Charming and
Well, we
Snow
know-
share that heart now.
We know that Hyde wants Jekyll. We know that. Like, that was very clear he made when Emma was talking about,
But why
they
does
lured
he
him
want
in.
him?
So that there may be some truth to that, what Nikki just said. So
Because, if Jekyll can, split them, he can put them back together.
So I think that's going to be how Hyde is going to be free for a little bit, or whatever, because we know he's not going to stay in that ward for the whole time.
No, definitely not.
But I think that pretty much wraps up this episode. You guys have anything else?
Cinderella, please come back on my TV screen.
Soon.
Episode 3. You got to endure
2
one more
episodes.
one more episode, then Cinderella.
Well,
I
I
won't
want
believe
I
it.
want more Cinderella because Cinderella's my favorite princess. She's my favorite princess, but this Cinderella in this show, I don't really like her.
Cleo
so.
doesn't believe it. We're probably not getting Mulan this season because she's over in Gotham. Cleo, did you happen to see her in Gotham?
I hate her character, and I'm sorry.
I know.
Fuck me, Gotham.
I know.
I
I know.
It's a whole
I-
whole
She
other
needed a
thing.
job.
But for those of you that are
Yeah.
interested in seeing the actress Mulan do something, I personally am enjoying her in Gotham. But the story's a little weird. But
That's just
Here,
a weird
Jim,
show.
there's a new vagina
My
for you to
favorite-
slam.
wow,
It is.
tell us how you really feel, Cleo.
Well, that's exactly what it is. But
Exactly what it is.
Next
My
week.
favorite princess is Sleeping Beauty, so I was always hoping they bring her back.
Next week, the episode is called A Bitter Drought. When a mysterious man from the land of untold stories who has a past with the evil queen arrives in Storybrooke, David and Snow work together with Regina to neutralize the threat. Belle
Wait,
seeks
wait.
Hook's help, finding a safe place to hide away from her husband, Mr. Gold. The evil queen continues to try to win Zelena over to her side, while Emma resumes her therapy sessions with Archie and shares her terrifying vision of the future.
why
So
couldn't
she's
you just,
actually going to Archie.
why couldn't
She
she just
trusts
do that in
Archie.
the first place? Why? Well, okay, she's gonna go bang a guy on a couch. She doesn't
No.
trust him.
That could help.
No.
Yeah,
Like,
that's really good.
She
for her.
does. She doesn't trust the guy that she wants. Like, I've seen her in a wedding dress with Hook right beside her, and they're like, "Yeah." I've seen the pictures. It's either a flash forward or it's going to happen. It's there. It's been ripped off the internet a bazillion times,
Yeah.
but it's gonna happen. This person you're gonna put a dress on and say vows to, you don't trust him enough to tell him about your spooky visions and your shaky freaking
Maybe
hands.
it'll come out on the couch.
Well, maybe she, after a couple sessions with Archie, she'll tell.
We're gonna have to see how it plays out because she may be talking to him and then has uncontrollable Parkinson's syndrome.
Yeah, maybe she's
magical
pouring
Parkinson's.
him a little glass of rum, and then all of a sudden it's all
No, she
over the
flings.
place.
She flings. the glass.
Oh my god.
Why is
She's
all
just
the
She has a
rum
bad case of jazz hands. Stop.
Oh, please
I
tell
just-
me Jack Sparrow is gonna be in the land of untold stories. Johnny
No,
Depp making his TV appearance.
Oh
Well,
my
Here's
god.
the thing. They make a
Well-
reference to Jack Sparrow in the show. Like he exists in movie form in this universe. Not well. He might
That's
exist.
right, that's
in
right.
actual-
Yeah,
That's
that's
But
right.
I wouldn't want him to say anything. I would just want you to see the hat and the dreadlocks if it walked
Yes.
past.
It just walked past.
Yeah.
Like
He can't just
in
walk
the-
past. He has to do something like really, really crazy.
No, he can't walk
like,
past. He has to
off-screen.
drunkenly stagger past.
And then fall down a sewer drain or something.
Yeah.
Can he be with his dad? Because
Yeah.
that'd be fucking hilarious.
Yes.
All right, so that does
You
it.
know, Keith Richards is still alive.
Nikki, where can the people find you? Laughing uncontrollably. Uh-huh.
His dad's never dying. He's for kids
I'm
always
sorry. Jacob did it perfectly, and I can't.
I have the
Okay.
hat somewhere.
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
Cleo, for potentially the last time. Where can the people
You
find
can
you?
find me at Cleomoto.
Awkward silence.
Jake, where can the people find you?
You can find me here on YouTube at Jacob Salazar, or you can find me on Twitter, tweet at me throughout the week, throughout the life at To Nowhere Land. That is TONOWHERELAND. Join the Nowhere Land Society.
Excellent. Rachel, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Savannah17, and soon I'm going to be streaming my making of a Halloween costume for my daughter after this weekend on Twitter.
Twitch Creative.
Twitch Creative at Savannah, yes.
Excellent.
But I don't know which one yet. It's either Corpse Bride or a Sith Assassin, so we'll figure it out.
I vote
I
for
vote
Corpse.
Sith Assassin.
I vote for Sith Assassin Corpse Bride.
It's going to be a Corpse Bride
A mashup.
assassin.
Yeah, do a
mashup.
mashup.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. That's probably going to be
Yeah,
the last
why
time
did
we
you
hear
guys
that on
do
this
it?
podcast.
That's not
No,
true.
no.
Y'all better keep it up.
We'll keep
Tell
it.
you well.
I'm like the music person on this podcast, so I will keep it up.
You can find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV Podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Till next time, see you guys later. Goodbye forever, Cleo.
I'll never see you again. Thank
Rest-
God.
Rest in pieces. What do you mean, thank God? We're on all the DC shows together. You can't get away from me.
Oh, God. Those are starting
I
up
was
too.
hoping you were forget about
Yeah. Isn't our first one next week?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
all.